Hello everyone. The sound of music. This is the chapter which we are going to discuss about in today's session. This chapter is actually divided into two parts. The first part deals with the struggle of a Scottish percussionist, Evelyn Glennie. We will see how she went against all odds and became such a world famous musician. The second part of the chapter deals with the origin of the famous musical instrument, the Shehnai, and we will also see the early childhood, early life of the Indian legend Ustad Bismillah Khan. So let's begin with part 1. The story begins with a little girl of about 17 years of age who is standing nervously on a railway platform waiting for the train to come. It was her first day at the famous Royal Academy of Music in London. This girl was none other than Evelyn Glennon. But how did she reach the Royal Academy of Music? This was not an easy journey for her. Evelyn was from Scotland. As she was an aspiring musician, she had to face a lot of problems, as we know. But the biggest challenge that she faced was that she was deaf. Evelyn lost her hearing gradually. Her mother realized it when Evelyn was just 8 years old. One day, Evelyn's name was called to perform on the stage. But Evelyn did not move. She stood still. This was the time when her mother realized that she had problem in hearing. Initially, Evelyn hid this growing weakness from her friends and teachers. But by the time she was 11, her marks lessened. The headmistress of her school called her mother and asked her to consult a specialist. Later, it was known that her hearing loss was due to a slow nerve damage. She was advised to wear a hearing aid, but Evelyn was determined to live a normal life. One day, Evelyn saw a girl playing a xylophone. That day, Evelyn decided that she would also learn to play a xylophone. Everyone was surprised at her decision. But percussionist Ron Forbes recognized Evelyn's talent. He motivated her and told her not to listen it through her ears like other people do, but to sense music some other way. Evelyn said that suddenly she could feel the higher drums and the lower drums differently. She could also feel certain notes in music in different parts of her body. She could open her mind and body to different sounds. After this, there was no looking back. She traveled the whole United Kingdom with a youth orchestra. She had decided to make music her life. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music in London by playing the xylophone. There she scored the highest marks in the history of the Academy. Later, she moved from orchestral work to solo performance where she performed alone. After she finished her 3-year course, she had got most of the top awards which were given by the Academy. But Evelyn is not proud of her achievements. She has mastery over 1000 musical instruments. Without hearing, she functions with ease. She speaks fluently with a Scottish lilt. Evelyn has mastered French and has learned basic Japanese. She says that music pours in through every part of her body. She can sense the sound passing in through her fingertips. Evelyn feels the sound of the drums when she leans on them. She removes her shoes on a wooden platform to feel the vibration of music in her body. In 1991, Evelyn was awarded the Soloist of the Year award. This award is the most famous and the most prestigious award of the Royal Philharmonic Society. Master percussionist James Blades said that God has taken her hearing, but He has given her something extraordinary. Evelyn says that she is a workaholic and she has to work more harder than classical musicians. Evelyn gives regular concerts. She gives free concerts in schools and hospitals. Evelyn gives priority to young musicians. Anne Richlin of the Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children says that Evelyn is a shining inspiration for the deaf children. Evelyn has brought percussion to the front of the orchestra. She is an inspiration to the handicapped. Evelyn has given great pleasure and will always remain in the hearts of millions. I hope this was helpful to you. See you soon in the second part of this lesson.